Okay, so let's get into this. How to find killer local domains anytime you want. And I do mean anytime you want. Any day, any hour, any minute of the day, you will find killer domain names that we can use for this system that will be profitable and highly marketable. So we're not shooting for exact match domains specifically, but we're shooting for highly relevant local domains that are appealing to local businesses. By that I mean domain names that sort of describe what they are to the consumer. And let me show you a few examples here. Let's take Atlanta and a florist in Atlanta this time. Well, floristatlanta.com would be a perfect domain name for a florist in Atlanta. There are, believe it or not, quite a few of these domains around to register, and people drop them every year, and you can pick them up and start them over again. They are harder to find than some of the other variations, of course, but they're out there. So don't be afraid of looking for those. Now, the second one is floristinatlanta.com, which is okay. That's very serviceable for the types of things we're doing. Floristatlantageorgia.com with a GA for the state. I don't like those domains. It's a little harder to remember, and it's just a little more cumbersome. I'll use them if there's nothing else available, but that's very rare. Then you have something that's even longer, floristinatlantageorgia.com. I wouldn't register that at all. There are so many other options to be able to choose from that you don't need to do that. Then you have atlantaflorist.com, which is the opposite or reverse of the first one in the list. Another great domain name. AtlantaGeorgiaFlorist.com is also very serviceable, but I don't like the state in the domain name. The local business is where it's at, and most businesses don't serve the whole state. And when a consumer is searching for a florist in Atlanta and they live in Atlanta, they're usually not putting in the state in the domain name anyway. 3 things you want to keep in mind: no hyphens, no numbers, and always use .coms. And I'll explain that. Hyphens are very hard for a local business to use in a domain name because they publish the domain in newspapers, on the radio, on TV, and it's hard to vocalize a domain name with a dash in it. It's very confusing. And when a consumer reads the ad in newspaper or magazine that says whatever, dash, whatever.com, they don't remember to put that dash in when they go to the website, when they type it in, or they don't remember where the dash goes in the domain name. So hyphens are not a good idea, and they're unattractive to local businesses anyway. You don't want numbers in the domain name because consumers will often not remember whether to type in the digit itself or to type in the spelling of the word, like ONE for one. So numbers are not a good idea because it makes it harder for the consumer to find the domain name. Always use a .com because .com is what businesses want, first of all. .com sells 10 times faster than other variations of domain names, and it sells for many times more money than other domain names. So why bother with other types of domains? Sure, you can find better keywords sometimes, but that's meaningless for the system that we're using. Always go with the .com because that'll produce the best results for you. 3 of my favorite methods of finding local domain names. Method number 1 is expired domain lists, and I will explain that in a moment. Method number 2 is the GoDaddy Geo tool. I don't use GoDaddy for a lot of things, but this tool is really fascinating, and it works extremely well. Method number 3 is the keyword mixer and spinner, and I'll give you a demonstration of that as well.